ideas. Everyone has ideas. Everyone wants to be something. And to be part of a group like that makes you believe that we can all be something amazing one day.
GIBS started with a blank sheet of paper when Nick Benadel met with Johan van Zyl, who was then the Vice-Chancellor of the University of Pretoria, and they started talking about the idea of a business school based in Johannesburg that would be part of Tukkies.
At the time it was quite a risky venture because in the year 2000 not many universities were starting new entities, and particularly risky for the University of Pretoria because it was our first foray into Johannesburg.
So it did start in 2000 when I went in there, the rigor in the selection process just assured us that the quality of the class that you were going to have was going to be of such stature.
In week 2 or 3, we actually moved into 25 Fricker Road, not 26 Mile, 25 Fricker Road. Nick handed me a budget of 650,000 Rand, told me to get the info centre started before our first cohort starts in February 2000, and they all went on holiday.
At that point in time, actually, we didn't have a brand, we had a name. And one of the real brand builders was the GIBS Forum. We spoke early on about the GIBS experience, and the premise of that was that if people came to the campus for something which they considered to be of value, they would tell their friends or tell their colleagues.
I was with the first intake, or what was called then the GEDP, the Global Executive Development Program, which included a trip that took us to London and Boston. And it was interesting for me because it was a new school. I could feel the energy, I could feel the pulse, and I could feel this thing had vision.
A little known fact is that for a while, GIBS was the Graduate Institute of Business Science because we weren't sure that Sir Donald Gordon would make available the substantial donation, and we could easily change the Graduate Institute of Business Science to the Gordon Institute of Business Science.
The team of faculty here, there were some very high bars that they had to face, and they still do.
Initially, there were only a few of us. I can still remember what we used to call as the Three Musketeers. It was Albert Walker, Peter Tobin, and myself. It was exciting even though there were 3 of us initially because we shared knowledge, we organized together, we got excited together when things went well.
When I was executive director at Murray & Roberts, and we used to use the GIBS programs for our executives, we brought them here, and we did so largely because it was quality. It was the kind of value that we felt that was important for us as an institution to be associated with.
The partnership has worked fantastically with us. I think it's based on a common ethos and value system between the two organizations, GIBS and Barloworld. And our people have benefited enormously from their participation in these programs, as has the company.
We then had to set about launching the MBA. And all we had was a plastic architect's model of the school. And I can remember going to the Kalani Golf Club with the model to try and attract our first intake.
The MBA here gave me a lot of exposure to Nigeria, to Mozambique, to Brazil, to China, and there was that emphasis on the emerging markets. Having now moved to Nigeria, life was a little bit easier. I was just a notch more prepared.
And there were established business schools, so we had to work especially hard.
I have since sent quite a number of stars that worked for me at Standard Bank or at Barclays Africa, and look at the impact it has on them to this very day.
He said, look, I think there's space for a different type of business school, and I want a place where people come and are able to engage with the real South African condition.
We talk about 3 levels in the school: the individual, the institutional, and the macro or the country level.
It is important that we actually develop leadership that cares to think about issues, that thinks about issues, if you like, at a local, provincial, and national level, but is also thinking regional. And in fact going even further afield and think continental.
My own experience with GIBS is a very enriching one that has been of such a nature that every time I come to the campus I feel inspired.
We come from such different places, yet when we come here it's almost like we're one group of people.
I've often said that I didn't decide to do an MBA, I decided to do a GIBS MBA.
We're immensely proud that GIBS has a formidable reputation, formidable both locally and internationally.
The one thing that is undoubtable is that we'll continue to build on the strengths.
There's been dramatic growth, but not just growth, it's the quality of the growth. It's the quality, the standard that GIBS is setting.
The preeminent business school in South Africa, the preeminent business school on the African continent.
But I see incredibly exciting futures, an amazing opportunity to play in a vibrant sector on a continent where management development is an absolute imperative. And at GIBS we need to be part of that.